Hey everybody, Karen from Ask the Spirit Guides. Click. How you doing today? For entertainment purposes and allegedly, okay? Because we're going to be talking about some things. But first, have you noticed my glow? Yeah, I was a little irresponsible yesterday. I did not realize, I don't know. I'm in the sun a lot in the summer and I never ever burn. So the fact that I burned yesterday, I'm not too happy about it. I was like, oh, I lost my touch. So we just went out a little. We went out at noon and we were like, yeah, we'll just go out at noon to 2 or noon to 1 or whatever. I don't wear sunscreen because I do not think that sunscreen going into your system is a great thing. So I don't wear sunscreen. We usually build up our tan throughout the summer slowly. And I don't know, I just lost my mind yesterday. I forgot that we were in the pool playing a ball and I don't know, I got a little carried away. Shouldn't have been out there that long. Anywho, I know you don't have to scold me. Look at my arms. That's awful. I have tallow and olive oil on my arms right now, on my face. God. Um, Anyways, you don't have to scold me. I know, I know. Okay, so I hope you're doing well. What a crazy, crazy weekend, right? Just in terms of energy. Oh my gosh, like the anticipation yesterday was just strange. And not to mention, much love goes out to the two families in Minnesota who have been horrifyingly affected by the unaliving situation or just the trying to unalive situation. That started the day off, right? That was like, okay, all right. And I'm so grateful that it seems like there were some small incidences throughout the United States. I know somebody had tried to unalive people in Utah, I believe, Salt Lake City, actually. If I heard that correctly, I think one person got seriously wounded. I know a few people took their car and tried, and that one was in Virginia, and I think there was one other. So there are some things happening for sure. So the astrological, in terms of those types of things, absolutely. But also because the video I did on Thursday was an explosive, unexpected sort of weekend coming up, right? And one of the things I said is it doesn't necessarily mean negative, right? I think that the whole what happened in Minnesota was the tip of the iceberg with that. Like I just think that was like the thing, like one of the things. In terms of being negative, that's just my opinion. I haven't seen other things, so if I'm missing stuff, then, obviously I'm missing stuff. But in terms of the positive, oh my gosh. Woo, 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 woo. How amazing, huh? You guys, if we don't go on TikTok very often, but this is like one of the reasons I went on TikTok yesterday. I can't go on there because it's like I just waste too much time on there. So I went on though to look at different cities. I mean, just all over, and it was unbelievable. Like seeing the real footage of it, and then seeing the real footage of the military parade. Oh my gosh. And here's the thing. That was very unexpected that the bleachers would be, and the tanks were going past the bleachers. It wasn't like they were just getting started. The bleachers were like a quarter filled. I mean, it just was not good. It was not good. Oh, this is why I woke up. I was making breakfast this morning and I thought, oh, I should talk to Trump's lower self. I should talk to his lower self and find out how he feels about the military parade. And so I started with that conversation. So that's what I'm going to share with you today. Okay. So I had a conversation with his lower self. Then I asked for a message from his higher self. Okay. So the lower self is yes, is how I look at it. It's like the lower vibration, the higher vibration. Okay. The lower self is yes, his ego in his human body. Okay. But that is an energy, and apparently we can talk to it. So I'm not an expert. I just talk to it. Okay. I asked my spirit guides. I asked the lead team collective, which is made up of all of our spirit teams. I asked if and I've done this before. This is my second conversation having with his lower self. And we can talk to his lower self, which is amazing because then we can find out the scoopy doop of what's going on with his ego self, I'm pretty sure his higher self would probably tell us, but I find it really quite fascinating. So again, this is really entertainment. I did ask him, especially when I asked about the Minnesota situation, I asked his lower self about that, and I will tell you what he said. So then I also asked the higher self if he had a message for us. He said he said yes. He gave it to me on the pendulum. Okay, so he spelled out stuff in the conversation I was having. And then I asked if he had if he had a message with an oracle, and he said yes. And he chose this energy oracle. So we'll do that at the end. Okay, so is anybody else relieved that Saturday's over? Anybody else? I'm very relieved that it's over. And I'm very relieved that Trump is not happy. I'm very relieved that there were protesters there's a huge woodpecker on a tree out there. He's huge. He's like this big. Is that like the male or something? I don't know. So there were protesters in DC. I don't know how many. I have no idea the numbers. It seemed to me that there were more protesters than there were people watching the parade. Now, some of the protesters probably watched the parade. I mean, why not? They don't have anything against the army themselves, or the servicemen, So out of respect for them, so that's interesting. Okay, so let's so anybody else relieved? Anybody else relieved? Oh my gosh, so relieved. I'm so relieved that that's over. I need to now look at the astrological report that Faye did for us for the community. I have to look at it now for the rest of the month. I have to look at it a little bit more. I was so focused on this weekend that I'll look at it a little bit more, and maybe tomorrow or the next day I'll give you guys. I'll definitely put more in the newsletter. Okay. So if you haven't signed up for the newsletter, there's the QR code right there. It's free. Just come on in. You can leave anytime if you don't like what I'm sharing with you, so it's just another touch base between you and I can share different information. And so, come on over, join it. And if you haven't subscribed, that would be amazing. It would help us just bring more and more light workers together, help our channel, help more people find the channel. So if you like it, if you've been hanging out and you're not subscribed, that'd be awesome if you would. Okay, so this is what I asked him. Okay, again, this is using the pendulum. I asked Archangel Michael for protection to make sure I wasn't going to be bringing in a lot of negative energy towards me. Archangel Michael said it's fine. Okay. And he wasn't going to, linger around me or anything like that. So that's good. I think that when I do lower energy stuff, I've only done maybe 2 or 3 now, but that's what you can utilize Archangel Michael for any kind of lower energy vibration stuff. So it's always a good idea to do that. Okay, so I initially asked Mr. Trump, Donald, I heard somebody say the comb over melon the other day or something. The comb over melon or something. I'm like, oh my God, I always keep hearing these same or different ways. It's different nicknames. It's kind of funny. I did write down a few signs that I saw. I was so proud of Minnesota for still showing up. I mean, those people are so brave, but you guys see how big the Minnesota one was? And people are like, I'm not going to stay home, So this was a sign from somebody in Minnesota. It was super cala, fragile ego, Trump, you are atrocious. That's going to have to be my next sign. Fragile ego, Trump, you are atrocious. And then somebody else had a sign that said worst sequel ever. There were a whole, and this was in Minnesota too. They had a whole, I don't know, there's probably like 8 or 10 people. I don't know who was dressed up, but 8 or 10 people dressed up like Handmaid's Tales. I'm like the Handmaids. I'm like, oh, that was good. And then somebody else had a sign that said, honk if you've never drunk tested war plans. So I kind of thought those were really good mug quotes too. So I thought I might have to put those on a couple mugs. Okay, so anyways. All right, so Trump's lower self. I asked him, my first question is, what do you think about the parade? Okay, what do you think about the parade? Now remember, this is like, supposedly I'm talking to him, like his ego in human form, okay? So he said lighter than I wanted. Okay, lighter than I wanted. And then I said, well, what did you expect? And he said, obviously, this is not rocket science. He said more people. Okay, so he expected more people. So then I said, I'm just going to have to keep saying it like that. Well, I said, what happened? Well, what happened, Mr. Trump? What happened? And he said, woke up. So then I used the dowsing rods and I said, do you mean like people are waking up? People are waking up. So he said yes. So he is aware that people are waking up to his bullshit, basically. Okay. So I said, how do you feel about that? And he said, angry. Yeah, he's angry. He don't like that. He doesn't want people knowing the truth, which is, why do people choose to live their lives like that? I don't know. It's so much more complicated. So then I said, well, why are you angry about it? Like, what's the deal? And he said loss of control. So again, not really surprising, right? Loss of control. It's just nice to hear that it was lighter than he wanted. Like, because no matter what he says on Truth Social or his dumb little tweets he does, he's going to say the complete opposite, right? So it's nice to hear what he's really thinking, okay? That's kind of why I wanted to do it, because I did see a tweet he sent out. I thought, I don't believe you. Okay, so then I said, do you realize you never had control over us in the first place? And he said, no. So, because he said loss of control, that's why he's angry. And I said, well, do you realize you never had control? And he said, no. And then I said, do you feel like you do have control now? And he said, no. Okay, so that was the first part of the conversation. And then I said, are you giving up trying to control the masses? And he said, no. Okay. So then I said, what's the next step? What's your plan? Okay. And again, none of this is surprising, but it's still helpful to know what the mindset is. There's no doubt, because last week, when our lead team collective gave messages last week, twice, I was a little behind in writing these in my book, so now I'm all caught up. Twice within 6 days apart, 5 days apart, they said he's losing his mind. They spelled that out twice. Okay. The first time was I was asking them regarding what was going on in LA, and he said losing his mind. And the last one was just on the 12th. So that was Thursday. So June 12th, losing his mind, Trump. And I said, why are you telling us that? And they wanted us to keep calm. Okay. Well, I don't feel that calm. I didn't feel calm at all yesterday because of what happened in Minnesota. I didn't feel calm at all about that. In fact, it's horrifying. It's interesting because, well, and here's the thing is they already tried doing that with Josh Shapiro. That this is the third thing on Democrats. Maybe there's others. Besides the arrests and stuff, but I mean the unaliving. This is the third one, meaning 2 in Minnesota and Josh Shapiro. So This isn't, and that's not good. That's not good. So the military parade, even when I first heard about that, I've been appalled about that. I mean, just like kind of in shock about it the whole month. But now this is a whole new level because, well, I'll tell you in a minute why. You probably already suspect what I'm going to say, is my guess. But oh, did I show you this already? So yeah, he said, I said, what's your next step? He said, run with military. So he's going to get, my guess is, based on what he's saying here, is he's going to get, and again, I think you could predict it too. I don't think this isn't earth shattering. He's going to get more and more creative. They're going to try to do more and more with this, obviously. Oh, did you see that? Both my likes just flickered. Interesting. Hang on. I already said the prayer, so let's ask them. So you guys, can I talk to the lead team collective, please? Was that you guys just giving me a little flicker on the lights? Wow, yes. Okay. Was that an agreement with he is going to continue doing stuff, trying to run the military to control the US? Yes. Is that why you flickered the lights in agreement? You guys, that's awesome. I hope they start flickering lights as I have a conversation. Go ahead, flicker lights again. Come on, flicker. See, will they do it on demand? I don't know. Would you guys do it on demand? Okay, so that's interesting. So run with the military. Okay. So I said, will the military support you? And he said yes. He said yes. Okay. Whether that's true or not, it's hard to know. In fact, I should have a conversation with the higher selves of the generals. Oh, that would be fun. I'm going to write that down. I got to write that down. Would you guys be interested in that? Can you let me know? Just say yes, 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 military, or yes, generals, or something. Let me know if you'd be interested in that. Maybe I'll do a call out for questions, but I would like to do like an actual conversation. Usually when I do a call out for questions, it's using the dowsing rods, but I wouldn't mind having a conversation with them using this. Let me know. Okay, I'm going to write that down so I don't forget. Okay, so it would be a higher self conversation with military generals in the US. Okay, that'd be interesting. Okay, so actually I put ask the SGs here. So Trump says he's going to run with the military. You guys blinked the lights saying yes. Will the military support him? Oh, no. Okay. Will they to some degree, just as they have been? Yes. Okay. Is that because because of folks who have permeated basically that are MAGA in the military, like leadership? No. Okay. So they will to a point because that's their job to do that. But they're saying yes. Will they support him when he starts breaking the Constitution? No. Good. But maybe we'll have a conversation this week with the generals. Let me know. Okay, so then I just had to jump and say, did you know anything about the unaliving attempt and the unaliving? Using the word ASS, I don't want to say it on here, but I said, okay, and remember you guys, this is little break and reminding you for entertainment purposes only and allegedly. So you know how I'm going to answer this. Well, I didn't answer it this way. He did. So I asked if he was aware. No, I asked, did you have something to do with it? Did you have something to do with it? And he said, yes. Did he have something to do with it? So the question is, So you guys, and obviously only answer if it's in our best interest to know. Yes. Okay. Is that true that Trump knew about what was going to be happening in Minnesota? Yikes. Yes. Okay. So was this a well planned out attempt and completion of? Yes. The reason it tipped me off is when I was listening, they did pretty good coverage yesterday. Did you guys see the house where what's his name? Vince. He went back to his house where his roommates are, real nice. So his roommates, I'm sure when they drive up in their big army trucks or whatever they drive up in their squat teams, and then went on the lawn. Did you guys see the lawn is all torn up, the windows are all broken out. I said to my husband, God, it reminds me of like Chevy Chase Christmas when they all broke into that's kind of what it looked like, but it was a smaller house. Um, so the fact that he sent a text, if you haven't heard this, I'm probably sure most of you probably have, but he sent a text to his roommates. So this happened like 2 in the morning. Okay, what I understand from listening to this news article is that, or news conference, is that it started at like 2 in the morning. He first went to the senator's house with his wife. Boom, boom, boom. Neither one of them are unalived at this point, as far as I know. She, the mother, laid on her daughter, which is like unbelievable, such a mother thing to do. And I have no idea, like, well, he went to the house. He was all he was in police gear. He went to the house at like 2 in the morning. So I don't know why they all came downstairs or whatever. I don't know what happened. But so obviously they were still alive. So now they could call the police. So the police show up and decide to go to other reps and senators and, around the area, and to make sure this wasn't happening at other people's houses. And they got to the one that actually was unalived with her husband. And is it Melissa? I'm sorry. I'm not, that's very rude, but I'm not recalling her name off the top of my head. I apologize. Um, and they saw him in his police outfit, and then that's when he ran away. So, but then he ended up going back to his house. So he didn't leave his house until it's like 6 o'clock in the morning. So he went back to his house, left his house at 6 o'clock in the morning, sent a text to his roommates and said, this is where it tipped me off, maybe you too, is when he said, I've made some bad decisions, which told me, I don't know, just the way he said that told me he was hired. Like he got caught up in something, and he probably, was, he probably, if I had to guess, and I could ask the SGs, but let's just use our human brains here. I've watched enough mystery shows. If I had to guess, they probably had something over him, or, and he even said, I'm not even sure if I'm still going to be alive, in the text that he sent his roommates. And he said, I don't want you to be in the middle of it, whatever, whatever. So, well, and they said he was a nice guy. So that's why I'm guessing he like just got caught up in some shenanigans and probably got threatened. I don't know. We'll see. Is this like one of those people who was like, was he in a vulnerable situation for money? Did he gamble? And then he lost a bunch of money, and this was the only way he was going to be, maybe he owed a bunch of money to people. He made some bad decisions, you know? So this is what they do, is they pry on people, just like the Pennsylvania situation. See, now that's interesting, because Faye did say that the similar energy was the same as the weekend of the Pennsylvania attempt and unaliving, if that actually was real, but it still was an event that happened. And Faye, it wasn't on Trump, but it was in Minnesota. Isn't that interesting? Hmm. Okay, so Yeah, so we'll wait and see. Is before I just checked before I started recording this and they hadn't caught him yet. They're suspecting he might be in South Dakota, but the thing is who's helping him, you know? It's who hired him, who's helping him. Really freaky that he shows up to their house, both houses in full uniform, like current cop uniform. That is freaky shit, if you ask me. So, yeah. I don't think, I mean, you can tell things have been nuts. They have been nuts since the election. I mean, right before the election. I mean, it's just been nuts, right? Anytime Trump is involved, everything is just nuts. So, and you know, like it's getting nuttier though, you know, it's getting nuttier. And there will be a ramp up point, and we'll see when I read the rest of the chart or the what June is going to look like. I know Faye said that astrologically the 9th through the 25th is like built up of bigger energies. So because of the way the planets are. So I'll fill you in more when I take another look at that. Okay. Okay. So then I had a conversation with his higher self. I just thought, you know what? Let me just see what his higher self has to say. And it is interesting. He started saying I'm, and I thought he was going to say I'm sorry because he said that last time. I did a video, a whole conversation with his higher self in the past, and actually I think I did Trump's lower self too. I will post at the end of this video both here his lower self and his higher self, the previous conversations I've had. They were interesting. Okay, if you're new to this, I have a start here. Your playlist I'll pop up right here. So his higher self said. I didn't expect this. I really didn't. He said, I'm handling it. And I'm a little surprised. I was a little surprised by that because I didn't think you could interfere. But I think enough of us have probably been asking for his higher self to interfere. So that's all I can ask the SGs that. And then I said, well, how are you handling it? How are you handling it? This is entertainment purposes only. Okay. In fact, I'm not even going to show you the one word. You'll know what I'm talking about. I should just probably not do that. So I said, how are you handling it? And he said, make sure he loses L. So unalived, basically. So make sure he loses. So that's what he spelled out. That's what his higher self spelled out. So I don't know how he would make sure of that. So you guys, let me talk to the lead team collective, please. So is Trump's higher self says he's handling it. He's handling it. Yes. Okay. Is he doing something? Is he able to handle it? Because so many people have asked in prayer to handle it, to have it handled, to be dealt with. And I don't mean unalive necessarily, but just, doing the right thing, basically, a moral handling of things. Yes? Okay. So his higher self, his spirit guides, his spirit teams are able to interfere because we've asked. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. If nobody asked, would he be able to do that? No. Well, see, and this is where I get a little tripped up because and maybe astrologically and soul contracts and everything were just so different in World War II. Okay, they're saying yes. Because I'm sure there were plenty of people who prayed for things to be dealt with Hitler, right? Well, and maybe it did. Maybe it did. It's just not in the timing that we expected. Because obviously it didn't go on forever, right? Did the angels and higher selves and all that, higher self of Hitler, angels, spirit guides, did you guys intervene during World War II as well? Yes. did you intervene to the degree, was it less or more intervening then than it is now? Are you able to intervene more now than in the past? Oh, really? Okay. Yes. Is that because of where we're going in the golden future? Yes. And that we're coming to an end of karmic balancing. Is that why you're able to do that? Yes. Okay. And back then, we needed we needed a lot more karmic balancing to take place. Yes. Okay. Is that why you did not, there were things you were able and not able to do? Is that correct back then? Yes. Okay. All right. So you're able to do more to intervene now to make sure that we stay safe in this and stay a democracy? Yes. Okay. Okay. Well, I'll tell you guys, he's got to be pissed about what happened yesterday. And you know what? This is slowly building. We've been saying it all along. I've heard other spiritual folks say it all along. It's going to slowly, look at how red my arm is, jeez. It's going to slowly build and build and build, and it is. It's amazing. It's actually really awesome to be a part of and just exciting, you know? So it is a little disheartening every once in a while because even when I was on TikTok, when I was on TikTok, still seeing, people comment that you're like, I don't get it. I don't understand why you don't see what's going on. Like, how do you know? This has never happened to this degree before. So at some point, MAGA, people who are still supporting him, have got to be like, what am I missing? At some point, you're going to have to ask, how is it that all of those people see something differently than I do? I would be asking that. I'd be asking that about myself. So hopefully they are. And again, Trump actually admitted it, didn't he? He said, woke up. He said, woke up. So he knows it's happening. Will it? I think I heard a medium say that like I don't know if it was Sterling or somebody, say that like 17% of his base won't ever wake up. So let's not expect it. So, but that's penny. That's pittance, that's not very many. So, okay. Boy, oh boy. All right. 30. This was just amazing. I mean, this is just the craziest time. I mean, it is kind of a cool time to be alive, but you really have to manage yourself, don't you? We really have to manage ourselves. Okay, let's just do a quick oracle card. He wanted to give us a message. This is Trump's higher self. So I close my aura to all but my higher self, the God consciousness, my guides, guardians, the lead team collective, and only those of the highest and purest light. Oh my gosh. And I ask Archangel Michael to please protect my channel, your channel, the community, the lead team collective, so it is only of the highest and purest light. Okay, so I'll ask the lead team collective if we can just call in. Let's go ahead and call in Trump's higher self again. Let me see and just see if that's one he wants us to have. What message would you like to for the community to have regarding the whole thing, the whole situation? Just whatever. What message would you like us to have? There's just a lot going on with this deck. He's like flopping things all over the place. Okay, let me just see if I grab the right one. So is the card you want in front of me at this point? Yes. Okay. Let me spread them out a little bit. All right, because there's quite a few of them. Okay, there's quite a few. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've had more before. We've had more. So I'm going to buzz through this real quick. Okay, let's start at the first one on the right. Do you want me to read number 1? No. Number 2? No. Number 3? No. 4? No. 5? No. 6? Nope. 7? No. 8? 9? That was the one that I first pulled, number 9. Okay. All right. But then a big pile just fell right out. So, okay, the last one. Okay. So let's see, what message does he have? Oh, interesting. It's a 9 card. It is 45. It's a 9. So, man holding a heart. Interesting. Happy Father's Day, by the way, to all our wonderful fathers in our community. Happy Father's Day. Okay, so 45, man holding a heart. 9 is completion. And this is coming from Trump's higher self. So let's see what he has to tell us. Okay, 45. Yeah, this weekend, I don't know. It's just... Okay, male dealing with family, love, or emotions. So there is an upright in this deck. So in case you didn't catch it, I will list it below. I'll link it below. Energy Oracle cards. There is an upright and a reversed message. So let me just see which one he wanted us to have, because I wasn't really paying attention. So Trump's higher self. I should probably call him by his regular name since it is his higher self. Do you want me to read that upright, the message? No. You want me to read it reversed? Yes. Okay. Okay. I'm not going to turn the card upside down, but well, so it would be like that. Okay. So the reversed message is, let's see. When this card is reversed, it could indicate a disconnect or even total shutdown regarding his emotional life. It says your emotional life, but we're talking about him. Okay. Okay. This makes totally sense. This makes total sense. So when this card is reversed, it could indicate a disconnect or even a total shutdown regarding his emotional life. It's time for him to open up and know that he can handle deep emotions and the energy that they bring up. Whether it's anger, grief, or utter bliss, he can be comfortable in their, well, this is hard to read this. Whether it's anger, grief, or utter bliss, you can be comfortable in their experience and in their expression. The man holding a heart reversed, so the man holding a heart reversed can also indicate a difficult connection or relationship with a man who may be easy to anger, deceitful, or quick to criticize. Yeah, okay, this is just validation that we're talking about him. His behavior could be attributed to fear and self-doubt, yet he would never admit it. Right? Yeah, this is total validation. You deserve honoring in any relationship, so set some boundaries and don't buy into this emotional chaos. This is awesome. Oh my gosh. I mean, out of every card in here, we get the male energy card. I mean, hello. Don't buy in, set boundaries, and don't buy into the emotional chaos. How amazing is this? Your soul longs for emotional peace. Okay, that's a message for us. Our souls long for emotional peace. We sure do. So the affirmation we could say, tell ourselves as we move forward, because it's probably going to get a little bit more chaotic. Okay, we're going to keep supporting each other. I'll keep coming back here, and this is for entertainment. A lot of it is for entertainment because it's helpful for me to get a bigger perspective. But it's also spiritual, obviously. So affirmations you could carry away with this is I am comfortable with all my emotions. Now turn this inward, okay? And we're looking for emotional peace now. Okay, this is about us, away from this energy. Okay, I honor and express them in appropriate ways. I feel peace. So that could be your affirmation. It's just, I feel peace. I feel peace you don't even need to say regardless. It's just, when you're in different situation or difficult emotional situation or looking at all the chaos that might come up in the near future, then just continue to tell yourself, I feel peace, Okay, you guys, there's just so much to talk about. So, I will see you in the next video. Have an amazing day. And again, happy Father's Day, you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.